Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It's Tuesday morning, July 9th. She was a scorcher yesterday, and she's going to be even hotter today, and then we're going to get hit with a monsoon that's coming out of Texas, or has already left Texas, and is going to hit us all day Wednesday and Thursday, so trying to get the hay out. So I want to look at two things, and one is, the direction of the channel, of course, because I revisit that every so often. And the other is you have to be careful about how you judge someone or, well, hang tight. So, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, if you didn't already know, and this is the weekday, Monday through Thursday, Monday through Friday. It's 5 after 4. And it's available for podcast as well. And so today, I wanted to cover two things, and that was the direction of the channel is going, and your feedback, and of course, understanding people. Sometimes it's not what you think it is. And now you're scratching your head, right? All right, so I can give a couple examples, but this is for coworkers. This is for employee to employer to employer to employee. It's how far do you want to invest in someone? And for some people, they don't care why somebody is quirky. They're just quirky. And if you knew a little more background information on that person, you might understand why they're quirky. And one example I can give, I've been working at the mines for some time, and I started to lose my hearing. I was too close to a blast. They had raise bores that you dumped ore into, and it went down to the crusher. And every so often, you get one hung up, right? And they would blast it. They put a piece of dynamite on a long stick and just run it right up in, right? Well, they had so much on that. They had more than one stick of dynamite, I can tell you that much. And when they let that go, I mean, it was close. It was just kind of like a big tidal wave of air going by you, and then loud. And it popped both my eardrums. And from that point on, my hearing got worse and worse and worse, to a point of where I could hardly hear you if you were directly behind me. And I didn't broadcast that I was having hearing problems. I'd always say, "Oh, I got my hearing protection in my earplugs," which I did that day. But it got to the point of where I learned quick. That's the only good thing about me. And I was able to pick up on my own how to read lips for the most part. But you had to be looking at me, right? And for the people that really knew me, they would come up and tap my shoulder if they were behind me and wait for me to turn and look at them before they said something or asked a question or this or that. Whereas the other fellow employees that worked in other different areas under different bosses, didn't know me that well. We were all, it's one of those things that the camaraderie you have when you work in dangerous occupations. And that was no different. You could have your tiffs with each other, but heaven forbid, if somebody else had a tiff outside, if we went to a bar, an example, and somebody decided to take on one of our guys, you're taking on all of us. We're not going to stand around and just watch you beat the crap out of them. But it started going around that I was kind of standoffish, antisocial, and my friends, true friends, were coming to me saying, this is what's being said. So if you're not interested in hearing why someone is being antisocial or not responding to you, then who cares? I'm not going to be friends with you anyways, right? But friends invest in other friends. And that is, they've taken the time to either they've been around through the good here, not so good, really less, and then pop. Or if somebody wanted to become your friend, they would say, what's going on with you? I hollered to you the other day and you didn't answer me. And I'd say, was my back to you? Yeah. Well, it's because I have a hearing problem. And it wasn't till after being injured in the mines that I actually got hearing aids. But that's just it. That's the idea that people are quick to judge. And you don't want to be one of those people. For me, being quick to judge means you're taking the easy way out. You're making your own cognitive thought on somebody else without any information. And when you're doing an equation, right? You have to know what the first number and whether you're plus, minus, multiplication, subtraction, the second number, and then you have the output of what that equals, right? If you're not willing to look at the first part, you're never going to get a good answer on the equals, is what I'm getting at. So my tendency is when I see somebody's kind of on the quirky side or this or that, and standoffish, I knew my reasons. But I'm the type that if you can try to be an asshole and stuff like that, but if I don't think you really mean that, you're just trying to keep everybody at a distance, I'll step forward and say, you got time for a coffee or this or that, and get to know who they are. And that's helped out, like at the shop. We've had employees from hell that I've been told by other shops that could never connect. But once I heard their story, I understood what was going on. And that customer from hell turned into someone that was, hey, Eric, can I bring my stuff down, and come in laughing and stuff like that, but then treat everybody else like assholes. Go figure. All right, so we're not going to spend a lot of time on the video today because I'm attention spans, I guess. So the second part is kind of getting a baseline for the channel again. And that is, we had met 2,000 subscribers, and then in the past, since Friday, we've lost 5 or 6, so it brought us back down below 2,000. And that number doesn't scare me. I mean, I'm still happy. Or 2,200 rather. 2,200. It's 2,196, I think, is what it ended up dropping to. And I'm trying to figure out, what is it that people want to see more of? Is it my approach? Is it what I'm doing videos on? It's hard to get feedback from just the 2 dogs that are in here right now. that they're quiet right now, but no, I mean, what is it? What would you like to see out of the channel? Because this is just as much your channel as it is mine. You know, I may be the hostess, but I try to do things that people have questions on. And I'm not the expert on everything. I'm not. I'm just an average guy running a small repair shop. Did very well with online parts. And know what it takes. If you really want to become your own boss, how to succeed. And I try to give it to you in layman's terms of, what can you understand without getting, what I call too much information. You don't need a lot of rambling on. You need how it works, why it works. And we have great people on this channel, that have experience, that are more than willing to share it. All you gotta do is ask a question in the comments. And I've watched friends on this channel answer questions from other, people watching the video. So, I mean, it's great to see that, because that way you're not getting all one feed of information. And I've always encouraged that, if you can add to, or maybe you don't agree with how I did it, you have a different way, that's fine. The more ways we give that person that has that question ways to do things, or answers to a question, the better the outcome is as far as I'm concerned. Because, again, it goes back to, reading people. You got to know the first two numbers, and whether you're doing addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, to get the right answer. So I may give you one number of the equation, but I haven't given you the rest that you understand, but somebody else will. So let me know what you think. I mean, is 7 videos a week too much with me just gabbing? Or do you want to see more repair videos? I mean, I can only just show so many videos of how to repair a trimmer, push mower, riding lawnmower. But let me know in the comments. So on that note, you guys have a great Tuesday, and we'll catch you here bright and early tomorrow morning based on your comments. All right.